the consequences of orders you have issued as a result of the formal communication you have. But this is what we have to say, and I quote from Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice. Mr. Speaker, you remember the story of Shylock when he demanded his pound of flesh. A plea came from Portia, who was the supposed counsel for the debtor. Mr. Speaker, this is what he had to say, and I rely on it to mount the next line of my submission. That the quality of mercy is not strained, drop it as a gentle rain from heaven to discipline from you. But we believe this is tempered with assurance that the way forward will be better. You will be able to reinstate our colleagues who temporarily have been denied access to this chamber and the precincts of Parliament. Ours is not to undermine your authority. After all, it is the confidence we had in you that made us by consensus to vote you into office, and we accept your authority. Mr. Speaker, we do not think for the public that such an action will not be seen, such an action will not be seen in the public space again. Mr. Speaker, I take full responsibility as a leader on my side on all actions that took place.
Honorable members, I believe this statement may need your comments, and depending on how you want it to be handled, I would prefer it's handled at the leadership level and not beyond that. But this is your house, and not only my house. I am duty bound to maintain law and order. And so I will allow the majority leader to have a say.
An almost godly stature. My colleague, the minority leader, has spoken. He has recounted. Mr. Speaker, it is a fact that the first time His Excellency John Dramani Mahama nominated the first time nominees were announced was on the 9th of January 2025. Today, Mr. Speaker, is the 4th of February 2025. We are not yet even to 2 ministerial nominees out of 60. The reason why we are even at 42 is because since Friday, we have not yet received any additional nominations. So in effect, we have finished vetting and hope to conclude the approval of 42 as the cabinet of the government have actually been vetted and some approved by this House. I agree that your decision to suspend some colleagues was timely, and I believe that it has been understood by the generality of Ghanaians as a step that restored the image of this parliament. And so, Mr. Speaker, I believe that your action has achieved its objectives. But as you can see, our colleagues are remorseful. Our colleagues accept your decision in good faith. And our colleagues are appealing to you to review your decision to suspend your suspension, to reconsider your decision to suspend. Mr. Speaker, it is not only members of the minority side that were suspended. In fact, the chief whip of the majority side was also suspended. So clearly the conduct was on both sides. And I also, on behalf of my side, appeal to you to reconsider your decision and lift the suspensions so that our colleagues can.
Honorable members, I'm sure the first thing you have realized is that because your leaders actually came to me to plead that I temper justice with mercy. If any of you here is not remorseful, honorable members, honorable member, you are not, please. Honorable member. It's important your powers, and I create an environment for you to be able to perform your function. And I go according to the rules. You can disagree with the Speaker, and the rules and the laws of Ghana permit you to do so, and also details out the procedure on how to handle the disagreement. But so please, you can ask your leaders when they approach me with this. Yes, as a father, when your son commits an offense, You don't punish the son to the extent that you break his or her leg. That becomes a big problem. That becomes a big problem for you, the father. And nobody is perfect. We are all fallible. So I listened to the apology. It's perfect. We are all fallible. So I listened to the apology, and here it was repeated by the minority leader for and on behalf of the members of the caucus, and supported by the majority leader. It's not only words. Before me, they demonstrated and assured me of their total support to me and the deputy speakers to ensure that we have an efficient and an effective functioning parliament in Ghana. So I am satisfied with not just the statement but also their conduct. And I will proceed to lift the suspension considered were involved in disorderly conduct which amounted to contempt. The rules are very clear, and I did refer to them. Now to enter the presence of the House, I must say that they complied. They actually complied with the orders. And the standing orders are clear. And presence of Parliament is defined. And we have the men and women to enforce the law. And they actually did enforce the law. So I want to commend the members and also the law enforcement agencies, Marshal's Department, the police service for their support. Let me once again assure the House of my commitment to upholding the dignity of this House. All of you seated here, I am responsible. Nobody can save you. When it's outside, a lot has come before me, and I've always intervened, both sides, to protect the members and to save them. You can ask all the state agencies involved. And so it's not restricted to any side, both sides, all members. Those of you who don't know it, that's why I'm drawing your attention to it. When you get into any of those challenges and you draw the attention of the office of the Speaker intervenes. And by law, you are protected. There is a procedure we use to do that. We are not above the law, not at all. But there is a procedure because it's not you. You now represent a whole constituency, large number of men and women, children, elderly people. That is why you are made of now, not as individuals. And the rights of all that group cannot be taken for granted. So please, if you don't have a headmaster, you know what is going to happen in the school. The former Minister of Education is nodding his head. But I'll end by saying this, which is better captured in Latin. It says, qui multum datum. It's very simple. To whom much is given, much is expected. The public, what you do here is also not known by the public. And so when you rush to the public, one word can confuse the whole country. But that word will be understood differently in this house. We still have a lot of work to do with our partners outside this house. A matter of education, a matter of advocacy, and we'll focus on it. So I thank you all, and please, let's continue to work together as a family. Thank you so much. Once again, Minority Leader, you can start.
Mr. Speaker, and that of my respected senior colleague and senior at the bar who leads the House, we will make things better, and that we would have a big stomach to accommodate ourselves, especially we sitting to your left, the minority. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Just taking lessons in humility. My brother and colleague. Mr. Speaker, we thank you very much for your magnanimity